Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow the morning after. It's quite painful. We have it all to do versus Mozambique, and it's not going to be an easy game. They are currently about to play Cape Verde in their second game. It's going to be a crucial match in the lead up to the Black Stars final game versus Mozambique at the Alassane Ouattara Sports Stadium. The calculations are set to begin, and thankfully, well, not so thankfully or coincidentally, I have my calculators here. We'll look at what the Black Stars need to do, but the short answer is win versus Mozambique handsomely, actually. But their second game versus Cape Verde will prove crucial. Kudus Mohammed was the star of the show. He was the man who got us the goals that we needed in this game here, but unfortunately, it was not enough. And defensive lapses or silly mistakes, as he described it, cost us heavily in this game versus Egypt. We'll look at all that today, and also a friendly for Ghana versus Argentina. Yes, Argentina are looking for countries to play in the March international friendlies, and Ghana looks like one of the opponents they are sizing up to play. But as usual, don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. So last night was quite painful. An emotional whirlwind. Kudus Mohammed got us the goal after Mohamed Salah limped off injured. Just a couple of seconds after Salah went off, Kudus saw the stage was set for him to sparkle and shine, and he did just that with aplomb. A first goal for him, and many people might not know this, but this is Kudus' first African Cup of Nations game. Yes, this is his debut AFCON, and he scored a brace. The guy is made for the big stages. He did the legendary sitting on the advertising boards with his teammate celebration, and we all thought it was going to be a night to remember, a night to never forget in Abidjan. Did we know what was coming? In the second half, an offside goal, rightly so, against Egypt, and they did the right thing. They were hunting our players down, but Iñaki Williams a lapse in concentration. I literally shouted at that point in time because I saw the Egyptian player running towards our goal. He anticipated that and fed on it handsomely. Ofori could do nothing about that. Iñaki had given a back pass which was too far away from the goalkeeper for him to do anything about it. Kudus Mohammed once again, after an overlapping run by Dennis Odoi, got onto the end and finessed it into the far corner. Game on, and we were all excited. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. Osman Bukari, who was brought in as a substitution for Iñaki, who had done the same mistake, committed the same blunder. This time, Osman was trying to, dribble his way into the box. I don't know what Osman Bukari was trying to do, honestly, but it did go against us, and we conceded again. Trezeguet feeding off Osman Bukari's lapse in concentration. Bukari was replaced, and the coach said that Bukari was replaced because he has to take decisions in a game in which probably is not satisfactory or it's distasteful. He has to sometimes make decisions that many might not be happy with, and that was one of the decisions. As to why he substituted Majid Ashmeru, which led to our very first goal being conceded. Majid Ashmeru went off and Ghana started conceding. The same thing happened versus Cape Verde. Ghana conceded when Ashmeru was on the pitch, but when we equalized, he was stabilizing things and then he was taking off again. Coach Chris Hughton went back to his double pivot, and everything went downhill from there. It was a game in which I had a lot of questions. First of all, without the magic of Kudus Mohammed, do you think we had a plan to score goals? Without the magic of Kudus, what was the plan to get a goal? Because almost everything was not working in that respect. It was like we were depending on moments of brilliance from Kudus. When Kudus gets the ball, he's given the space to dribble and all that. And yes, if you have a player like that, you have to utilize him. But as we've seen already, he can't get injured, and he can't get injured within tournaments. Does it mean that without him, we don't have a plan to score? Is that the case here with Kudus Mohammed and all that? Also, what is Coach Chris Hughton doing about our goalkeeper? Richard Ofori, I have to say, it's very hard to blame him for those goals. But You would want to ask yourself, is Ofori the best man for our post? That's the question I have to ask. I don't feel confident with Richard Ofori in post, and I think we all felt something similar in there last night. It was a night in which we could have made history because the Egyptians were there for the taking. When asked whether Mohamed Salah restricted Egypt's play, the coach said no, Salah did not, and it was a case of probably him being injured and all that. But we all know that when the man from Liverpool left the pitch, it gave them free rein to sort of play. We played the Egyptians. We really deserved to win this one here. It was two defensive lapses, and you can hardly blame any of the defenders. That being said, many of you were disappointed with the performance of Dennis Odoi, who was run ragged. But then the other side of the coin is that Ali Dusedu hardly overlaps enough to create an assist as Dennis Odoi did for Kudus Mohammed and his second goal. Gideon Mensah also got tired at a point in time, and oh my goodness, Jordan Ayew was tired. What does Jordan have to do to have him pulled out of the game before the 90 minutes came up? Why did Jordan Ayew play the full 90 minutes? Also, Iñaki Williams' situation. The Iñaki Williams runs that are not being spotted. There was a point in time he made several, 3 or 4 runs into the box unspotted, and no Ghanaian spotted him. No one was looking out for those runs, and that cost us here as well. We need to find a way to, first of all, solve the defensive lapses versus Mozambique, because they will capitalize on it, and as other countries have seen, we are vulnerable to that, and they will anticipate that happening. We also find a way to get goals. XG for Cape Verde versus Ghana was 2.99. Means they should have scored 3 goals. The XG for Ghana doesn't look good. We need to find a way to score goals. We need to have a system that will help us score goals and find the back of the net much more regularly, and shut up shop the other way effectively. Otherwise, we could be singing the tournament goodbye. This is a similar situation to what we had in Cameroon in 2021-2022. It was that we lost our first game to Morocco, drew late on versus Gabon, similar to this one, and then the last game versus Comoros, who many thought we would thrash, we ended up losing to them. A draw would have been enough to take us through versus Comoros, but we didn't know that at the time, and we lost to them 3-2. We don't want something similar here. We hope it doesn't happen, and we pray for the best in the final game. Meanwhile, I'll keep my calculator close and handy. The Black Stars, you have to do that with them. So that has been it for today. But the friendly versus Argentina is likely to happen in March. We are one of the opponents between Ghana and China that are being sized up by the Argentine FA to play that friendly with them. But a night to remember for Kudus Mohammed, a night to forget for Iñaki Williams and Osman Bukari. Jordan Ayew lasted longer on the pitch, in my opinion, than he should have. And sometimes it feels to me that he likes the foul more than progressing the ball. That is how I feel sometimes about Jordan Ayew. Gideon Mensah at left back was a bit more improved, especially in the first half versus Mohamed Salah. Dennis Odoi as well has defensive lapses. Salisu was not the best on the night. Jiku was stoic as ever. Ashimeru, I loved his play until his substitution. And Baba Idrisu, despite coming on as a substitute, did not impress me. He was not having the pace, despite being fresh on the pitch, and he was also run ragged at times. We hope we do well versus Mozambique. The game is on Monday at 8 p.m. once again at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium, Pimbe Stadium, or the Olympic Pimbe Stadium as it is known here in Cote d'Ivoire. And that has been it for today. Your thoughts in the comments box on everything. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your week.